Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome from my side. I'm Svea Becker, and I'm part of the SAP Community team, and I would like to welcome you to our live stream today as part of the SAP Community Call series. And our topic for today is Build, Extend, and Automate with SAP's powerful low-code, no-code solutions. And there is a lot of going on at the moment about low-code, no-code. It's the spotlight topic in SAP Community. And we will go into this a little bit deeper in a few minutes. And we have a lot of challenges going on at the moment. So there is the AI and automation challenge. This will be via SAP Community, of course. I will paste the link here very soon. And this challenge has been extended, the deadline has been extended until mid of June. So it's still time to take part in this challenge. And we have another challenge about AppGyver, and there is a cool prize. And I will stand up a little bit so that you see this good hoodie here. So we have this black low-code, no-code hoodie as a prize. So it's definitely worth having a look into this. And having this said, I will, of course, go into the topic of today. And we have two speakers here from SAP. We have Sebastian Schroetel. He is the head of the low-code, no-code products team at SAP. And we have Sandra Hathaway. She's the senior director for low-code, no-code enablement and communications. Welcome both to this live stream. I'm really happy to have you here this morning. And I think I have already given a huge outlook to everything. So Sebastian, I'm curious about what you are going to share with us. The stage is yours.
Perfect. Thank you, Svea, for having us today in the SAP community. So I'm super happy to run you through today a little bit of what we have been doing around low-code, no-code in the last time, but also run you through a little bit what is the latest and greatest news in low-code, no-code. So yeah, let's get started and let's dive right into the topic. But before we dive into the topic, a little bit of some formality. What we are going to show you is part of SAP's official content. So everything we're going to show you here is basically SAP's proprietary content. Nevertheless, of course, we will show, or we might be showing in the presentation, some elements that are part of our product roadmap. And of course, our roadmaps, as usual, are subject to change. So that means, this is nothing that where at the end you should fully rely on of making a final purchase decision, because as usual, our roadmaps may change. Good. Then we just had in May our so-called community spotlight on low-code, no-code solutions, where every week a different blog post was published on SAP Community to run you, our SAP community, through the different parts of our low-code, no-code solution, but of course also to bring this closer to you and to engage you using it. And especially also the challenge that Svea just have mentioned was also part of this spotlight month that we just had. So week one started with Diana, and we had about a quick intro what SAP doing about low-code, no-code. In week two, we really dive deeper into our low-code, no-code application development solutions. So there's also a blog post by Esme about how a typical capital expenditure approval scenario with AppGyver and Business Application Studio was built. Then we went deeper into SAP Process Automation, so our end-to-end process automation solution from SAP. Then week four was all about the digital experience solutions. And then last but not least, everything was centered around our community spotlight page, which is community.sap.com/topics, and then low-code, no-code. So I can only recommend everyone to have a look at our topic page, and please also dive deeper into the different blog posts that were published and the different activities and challenges that were published around our Spotlight Month around low-code, no-code on SAP Communities. Now, let's go deeper into our session today. So I'm going to start to give you a strategy update and product update. So what is the latest and greatest that we have just released in our different product areas? Then we're going to see an end-to-end demo, how SAP Process Automation and SAP AppGyver runs together also with SAP SuccessFactors in a recruiting scenario. And then I will hand over to Sandy to really dive deeper into our learning offerings for the SAP community. So we have a brand new citizen developer learning journey that you're going to learn about in the third part of our session today. And then we have the honor to do a Q&A session. So also feel free and write down all the questions for the end, where we are super, super happy to answer all your various questions. Let's start with the strategy update. The question that we are often asked is, why low-code, no-code? Why is this a trend, or is this just another buzzword that is currently running through around the different IT community channels in the world? No, it's not. And this is something I wanted to a little bit motivate at the beginning of my section. Why is low-code, no-code such an important topic today in the IT industry and also in enterprise software? There's basically three outside factors that I usually call them even a vicious cycle, because they all come together and create some pressure on today's businesses. We see, and we have learned, unfortunately, the very hard way the last 2 years, that there is global events that are shaking the global economy, sometimes overnight. From one to another day, we wake up in a different world. When the global economy undergoes, I would say, external and dramatic influence, businesses need to change the way how they run. If businesses need to change the way how they run, how they are executing their processes, the underlying enterprise IT landscape also needs to adapt to the change. And that also puts pressure on IT to change the enterprise software landscape, the way how the applications are set up, configured, extended, also in the same fast manner that also our fast changing global environment is demanding. Then in all the customer meetings I'm doing, hardly meeting any CIO that says, hey, great, I get 10% more budget every year. Usually it's rather the other way around, that there is some sort of an efficiency gain expectation on global IT organizations, meaning resources are limited, and especially in traditional industries, IT employees that actually can write code professionally are also very much limited. Then we are talking about complex landscapes. So when SAP started this year, it's the 50th birthday of SAP. When SAP started, we had the so-called mainframe server architecture, which was very simplistic, and IT didn't have to maintain a lot of different applications. Today, the typical IT of our customers has to maintain hundreds of different business applications. This is very, very typical. And of course, they all are on different technology. They might be in different data centers, on premise, in the cloud, on different hyperscalers. So that means the enterprise IT landscape is more complex than it has been in the past. And all bringing that together, of course, creates pressure. And low-code, no-code is one way to get out of it. Why is low-code, no-code such a big topic, and why, like the statistics that we are seeing here, are 59% of all enterprises basically thinking about offering these business developer programs to their employees? Because at the end, low-code, no-code enables exactly those business developer or citizen developers, how we also call them, to build technology output. And this is the most important thing. BI low-code, no-code today is such a big trend. It increases the number of people in a typical enterprise that can actually create technology output. And technology output, we mean creating an extension, building an app, building an automation, integrating different software components. So this is all technology output. And with low-code, no-code, we make the development experience that simple that we are not only relying on the professional developers anymore. Of course, the professional developers are still there. And there's a lot of complex scenarios where we still, or where we need the professional developers. And it needs to go hand in hand. So citizen developers and professional developers in the world of low-code, no-code are working hand in hand. And this is, again, why 59% of enterprises are going into the direction of low-code, no-code. Then we also see that there's an increased investment into low-code, no-code platforms. So in the next year, we expect about 15% growth of investment. And the increased efficiency of low-code, no-code platforms does not only enable citizen developer who did not study potentially computer science to build software, but it also increases the efficiency even of professional developers using low-code, no-code platform by around 55%. There's one topic which all our customers are looking a lot towards. This is security. And this is also why for us, a software vendor, for us at SAP, with our inbuilt enterprise qualities of in BTP, are providing a really holistic offering for low-code, no-code development on top of BTP, because we have those enterprise qualities built in BTP since the beginning. Speaking of BTP, let's recap a little bit the SAP strategy. We want all our customers to run intelligent and sustainable enterprises. For that, we are offering industry-specific end-to-end processes that are powered by our business process intelligence offering to run an end-to-end business process management approach. The core of SAP is our enterprise applications. So this is ERP, spend management, human capital management, CRM, and this is what we call our core solutions, our business application solutions. All our solutions and industry-specific content runs on the business technology platform. And in the business technology platform, we have the so-called solutions or BTP solutions. These are application development and automation, integration, data analytics, and our AI solutions. And this is exactly where we are going to dive deeper today. BTP, being the foundation of the intelligent sustainable enterprise, offers, as said before, the so-called solutions. Why we are doing it, coming back to the why of low-code, no-code, we want to create personalized experiences that instantly work with SAP applications. That is the way how customers adapt and can extend and adapt our core enterprise applications to their needs. They can use our BTP solutions to build extensions. And this is a core element of SAP's application and also technology strategy since the beginning of SAP. Make our deliver standard software, but make it extendable. And this is exactly also the main focus of our application development and automation portfolio, which targets extending and automating business processes that run in our digital core. Then, of course, with low-code, no-code, and we have learned before that low-code, no-code does not only enable citizen developers to create technology output, so have more people being able to create technology output. It also increases the efficiency of professional developers. So this is why one of our core value proposition is build faster with the business context. And then coming back to the enterprise qualities, the inbuilt enterprise qualities about scalability, security, monitoring. In BTP, this is, let's say, the third and maybe the most important, as we have learned out of the IDC survey before, most important enterprise quality. Diving deeper into the personas, we have learned about the vicious cycle of increased speed of change, limited resources, and more complex IT landscapes. So we are adding citizen developers into the formula. So more people can help to create so-called technology output. But which of our solutions are now to be used by who? So what are actually our citizen developer solutions and what are our professional developer solutions we have? Again, professional developers, they can use all and they should use all. So we have Business Application Studio and the integration suite for our professional developers or integration developers. For our citizen developers, and this is exactly why I'm super happy, we have a new community area in our SAP community now, caters directly and specially towards the citizen developers. We have our digital experience offerings for building portals. We have SAP Process Automation for end-to-end process automation and integrated RPA document information extraction. And we have SAP AppGyver, a true no-code solution for building applications and application extensions. Interestingly, and this is exactly what we call the so-called developer continuum. There is always a blurred line when we go from pro code to low code to no code. It's not, there's no hard boundaries. And the developer continuum actually says that along the line, also the different personas can interchange the artifacts that we have built and can also support with each other. So citizen developer has started to build an app with AppGyver and can then hand over the project to the professional developer to continue to do so. Now let's dive deeper. We just have completed SAP Sapphire in Orlando, and we have announced a series of product updates in our product scope. And I wanted to run you through that product updates. First of all, our Launchpad service, our single pane of glass. We worked a lot around key user adaptation, some increased role management, high availability programs, transport, and actually being able to build more content and have an enhanced provider report around spaces, pages, and URL templates. Around work zones, so our full offering in that space, we have worked in the last months a lot about context awareness. We have created self-service onboarding for identity services. Our customers can import user lists, and we have worked also to more generalize our work zone offering by moving it onto a new cloud infrastructure that will help us in the future, and also our customers help in the future to scale their work zone investments more. And we have embedded it with our enterprise search. Just yesterday, there was a community call about what is new in the area of digital experience, so Launchpad and work zone. I can only recommend to have a look at the community call that actually did happen yesterday. You can watch the recording on SAP Community. So I can only recommend to if you want to learn more about our digital experience offering, to have a look at our What's New community call from yesterday. Now let's dive deeper into AppGyver. And I started at the beginning why we are investing into our application development offering. It's about building full applications, of course, but at the end, we are augmenting with all our BTP, our SAP core solutions. So it's about building extensions. SAP AppGyver is now embedded directly into SAP Service Cloud as the standard extension platform. So all customers of SAP Service Cloud can use SAP AppGyver now to build exactly those extensions. We have also embedded Fiori design elements directly into SAP AppGyver, so you can build now SAP Fiori designed apps with SAP AppGyver. And last but not least, there's a new visual logic editor that we have published, that we have launched around AppGyver, where you can build complete data models and application logic without a single line of code. And by that, you can really now go into building even more complex applications with SAP AppGyver, but still without having to write a single line of code. SAP Business Application Studio, so our offering for the professional application developer, we have embedded now, that's also important for increasing efficiency, a guided development tool. There's now project sharing. This is also important for collaborating between different developers. We have our low-code experience in Business Application Studio is now available by standard out of the box. So also Business Application Studio, even if it's a professional developer offering, goes low-code, because again, as we have learned before, low-code and no-code also increases the efficiency of the professional developer. And with that, we provide with SAP Business Application Studio now a complete low-code based full stack development environment that is also now available on the free tier of SAP BTP. So feel free to try it out. You can everyone can try it out now for free with the BTP free tier. SAP Process Automation, our end-to-end solutions that we have launched beginning of the year. We can now simply embed application logic by drag and drop functionality of embedding what we call so-called actions. So APIs of applications can be simply embedded into the project flows. We have a deeper integration into the artifacts of Business Application Studio. So all the artifacts that you build in Business Application Studio, be data models, can now be also consumed in SAP Process Automation. There's again import and export and sharing functions around projects that also helps our existing customers of workflow management and our existing customers of SAP Intelligent RPA to easier bring content into the new environment. Last but not least, also here, SAP Process Automation is now available on the free tier of BTP. So again, the invite goes out to all our community. Please subscribe to SAP Process Automation on the free tier, try it out, give us feedback. Feel free to also write tutorials and learnings, ask questions in the community, because this is what basically fuels citizen developer tools and active community. Last but not least, our latest updates around integration suite. We have now trading partner management capabilities. Basically, it's enhanced EDI document capabilities in SAP Integration Suite. We are now offering the so-called integration solution advisory methodology as a feature for integration assessment inside SAP Integration Suite. And everything is about content. So we have new APIs and pre-built integrations that for especially our industry content that is now available on SAP API Business Hub. And then last but not least, also about content, but also about allowing our customers to move from SAP Process Orchestration or SAP Process Integration, so the older solutions, into the new cloud-based SAP Integration Suite. So there is several programs, there's content, there's learning for helping our customers to modernize and to easier modernize their existing integration investment and easier migrate to SAP Integration Suite. So to sum it up, what we are offering in our low-code no-code solutions on BTP is an end-to-end package of solutions to reimagine your business processes. The core value propositions that we are delivering for you, for our community, and for all our customers is ease of use with low-code, increased productivity with pre-built content, which is a pillar in all our low-code no-code solutions. Seamlessness of development environments. We have a lobby where you basically can create AppGyver projects, Business Application Studio projects, and SAP Process Automation projects with one single entry point. And you can also expose content that you have built in one and the other and you can cross-consume the different environments. We offer out-of-the-box native SAP integrations for data and workflows. And then at the end, this also helps you to scale by adding, as we have learned before, the new, citizen developers to your formula or to your IT staff that actually can create technology output. So by that, ease of use, increased productivity, seamlessness, context, and last but not least, scale and expand your organizations by low-code, no-code solutions. So now let's dive into the actual demo. For the demo, we have a more or less artificial company, which is called ShockX, so a company that produces chocolate. ShockX has the following issue, and I'm going to run you through that demo right now. So ShockX wants to hire new talents. Problem is, usually the applications are quite flat over the year. And as the pandemic is now reaching at least a pause or an end, they are back on doing job fairs. But they are not seeing yet an increase on applications. So what did they do? They thought about, okay, we have all our applicants, we invite them to a job fair where we offer a mobile app where the participants of the job fair can scan their badge. So they have the usual badge, like I have here now my SAP badge, they can scan it, and then they can directly apply for a job they like. And then this directly goes into an approval process where recruiters can say, okay, this is the incoming applications, is everything correct? And then it's directly uploaded and forwarded to an HR system. So that is the idea. So bringing people back into a job fair and augmenting the experience with a mobile app. How does it look like? So every participant on the job fair gets exactly this app. They can browse the different job openings, and then they can scan their badge. So this is the badge which they get for entering the job badge. This is their name, this is their contact, and also there's of course in the background the profile, how they have registered to conference. And then they take a photo and they apply. That is actually all. And with that, they have applied for a new job. This is what the recruiter then sees. Okay, he sees, okay, James Jameson has applied, and they just approve. That also works, by the way, if the image is distorted. So we see here a little bit of reflection, and it might be that not everything out of the photo could be recognized. Then the recruiter sees, can still correct the input, can change the name if something was not correct. In that case, everything was detected by the AI module automatically, and again, it's approved and sent directly into our SuccessFactors system, where we see the candidate is created automatically from the workflow, and we see the candidate also assigned already to the different job openings that are there. How was this built now? And now let's dive deeper into how our low-code, no-code solutions actually look like from a citizen developer point of view. So the mobile app was built with SAP AppGyver, then the approval workflow behind that and the image recognition was SAP AI Business Services plus SAP Process Automation. And then once we saw when the recruiter approved the workflow, it's automatically uploaded to SAP SuccessFactors. So we're also going to have a look in the following part of the demo on how actually SAP SuccessFactors is integrated into SAP Process Automation. And all of that with a different build for two personas, basically the applicants on the job fair, and last but not least, the recruiter. This is our lobby. In the lobby, you create what we call projects. You can, and here, this is the AppGyver project. In AppGyver, we have pages. So the mobile app that we have seen before has different pages, and from here, you can easily edit it. It's a full drag and drop experience. You will take new UI elements, you drag and drop that into the mobile page, and you can, in that case, first name and last name is to be added. This is actually the way how you do UI development in SAP AppGyver. without writing a single line of code. Now here is the part where we create logic. So what happens if I press a button? And this is now the complete no-code visual logic editor that we have just that is embedded and we have launched. So this is the no-code logic editor. You basically drag and drop different elements of logic together. Now let's dive into SAP Process Automation. This is the process editor where you build an end-to-end process. The first step has to be, because the photo was sent, was actually to extract the information from the image that was sent by the mobile app. For that, we have embedded document information extraction capabilities of our AI business services. And it looks like the following. You can actually create this kind of templates for document information extraction. And once an image comes in, the template is more or less applied. There's a machine learning algorithm in the background who constantly learns. And then we extract all those fields: first name, last name, email address. We can create conditions. And then if everything is provided, we can directly create the candidate in the system. What you see here, this is the form for correction. Remember in the part of the demo before, where the image was not recognized correctly, the recruiter could still change the data that was that comes from the image. Also here in SAP Process Automation, building UI elements and forms without a single line of code by just dragging and dropping elements onto the screen. If you want to add additional process steps, that's also done very easily by pressing the plus button. And what we want to do now is call a SuccessFactors API to create the actual candidate after it was approved. So by that, you just saw it, you press plus. With the actions, we can select from the exposed APIs, and we can then simply map, okay, first name, last name, and the email address that was extracted before from the image is mapped. Everything again without a single line of code in the context of this process. These are the variables that are available, and yeah, we simply save it, and that is it. So very simple, no code experience of building end-to-end workflows with embedding document information extraction capabilities, forms, and uploading to SuccessFactors. At the end, our virtual company JogX is happy because they see with the mobile app they could actually augment and increase with our citizen developer toolings. By that, I want to hand over to our next speaker, Sandy, to run us through our newly launched citizen developer learning offering. Over to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Sebastian. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to see our update today. I'm very excited to tell you about a new learning journey that we have for the non-technical business person or business expert who wants to start pretty much at the ground level with learning how to use SAP's low-code, no-code tools. And with that, we start with a short teaser video that we're going to play for you. Oh, let's see. Sebastian, are you?
It looks like Sebastian dropped out of the meeting for whatever reason. So maybe, Sandy, you can just share the screen and the video.
Okay, let me try that. Sorry.
No problem. So, dear audience, while we are waiting, we have a lot of information in the chat here, and I've seen your questions. We will definitely cover all the questions at the end of the presentations here. And I would recommend to follow these links I have sent. For example, follow the tags so that you get notified once there is new content in SAP Community. And also follow the speaker. And if you want to follow me, just make a photo of this QR code, then you can also follow me in SAP Community. Sandy, how is it looking like? Can you share it?
No, I'm not. I'm so sorry. I'm not able to share for some reason.
Okay, then it's the learning journey video, right?
It's the same presentation, yes. It's starting on slide 24 now for the video.
So let me add Sebastian here again, and Sebastian seems to have some audio issues. So welcome back, Sebastian.
You might need to enable screen sharing again.
Yeah, that's right. Maybe you can start the video then.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you interested in learning how to build software without writing any code?
Then you've come to the right place. Welcome to Low Code, No Code Applications and Automations for Citizen Developers.
This learning journey is targeted at business experts that want to build their own digital apps and extensions on SAP systems.
After completing this self-paced course, you understand how to get started as a citizen developer. You'll also learn the products that SAP has to offer business users who want to be builders.
This course has 9 units in total, divided into beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels.
Brief text explanations, short video tutorials, and infographics will help you along the way. You'll get certificates of completion for each unit and a certification for the entire course.
Life is too short for repetitive and tedious work. Become a citizen developer and build your own solutions in a flash.
So this course will empower you as a citizen developer to get the best out of our software and feel comfortable when building your own business processes. See you in the course.
Great, thank you. Okay, so that was a quick teaser video introducing you to what the course is all about. So now I'm going to take a couple more minutes and just go through that in a little bit more detail. If you would like to take a look at the learning journey yourself, you can use that QR code right there and snap that with your phone and have a look and go through that. But basically with the first unit of the learning journey, we start with a business process primer for citizen developers. So, really starting to lay the foundation for just understanding that anyone taking this learning journey who wants to build with SAP's low-code, no-code tools has kind of a common foundation of understanding of, what is a business process, what is, automation, what is the impact of automation, what are things to commit or to consider while you're implementing automation. In the second unit, we get into an introduction on citizen development and low code, no code. So really kind of taking a macro perspective, that like Sebastian touched on a little bit, but kind of understanding that in a bit more detail. Why is this trend having such a big influence on our companies and on our daily work? And how can we as citizen developers really understand that and embrace that and know how to talk about that with our colleagues and with management and with the IT department as we want to encourage our teams to further embrace low code, no code. Then by unit 3, we're really getting into how to build. So there's an introduction to low-code, no-code application development, understanding the basics of, how do you plan for that? How do you think about how you want to design your UI? How do you understand what kind of data sources you might need? And then by the fourth course, you're already building your first application, your first mobile application with SAP AppGyver. And then in the fifth course, fifth unit, we expand on that a bit more, and we will teach you how to build your first SAP extension with SAP AppGyver. And then we transition into unit 6, which is understanding how to work with SAP process automation. And there you're kind of hands-on building a sales order use case with SAP process automation. In Unit 7, we talk about creating engaging digital workplaces using SAP WorkZone. And then finally, we finish off the learning journey with the topic of running a citizen developer hackathon and successful community. And the goal of this unit is for the learner who has just kind of absorbed all this new technology to understand, how can I take what I've just learned back to my team and to my boss and run what we are calling either no-code appathons? So a very simple kind of view of what an app could be that you build for your department, or, if you want to be a bit more sophisticated and create a more complex workflow that crosses different LOBs and solutions, you could do citizen developer hackathons. So it's kind of all about learning the basics, building the basics, and then figuring out how to take that back to your teams. And then the very end of that learning journey is getting the certification. So the learning journey itself is free. You can, consume all of that content and follow along with the exercises for free. And then next slide, please. Then you can get the SAP certified citizen developer associate by taking an exam. So there is a fee for the exam of about $200. It is 80 questions long, it's proctored online, and you have up to 2 hours to complete that exam, and it will test you basically on the key concepts that you've learned in the learning journey. And at the end, you get this Credly badge that you see on the right hand of the screen there, where you are kind of now an official SAP citizen developer, and that certification is good for 5 years. Next slide, please. In addition to the learning journey itself and the certification, all of this has been kind of captured within a new SAP Learning website. So again, QR code there, if you want to snap that, that will take you to the low-code, no-code topic page on the new SAP Learning website. And within that website, you'll find things like role pages, you'll find new product pages. So, if you would like to know what other learning opportunities or assets are available besides this learning journey, you can find that on the respective product pages for AppGyver or Process Automation or WorkZone. And then, so like you can find, tutorials and additional guided demos and kind of more complex things that you might want to explore after you finish that learning journey. Next slide. And with that's kind of wraps up what I wanted to let you know about the learning journey and the certification. The best thing I can advise you guys to do is to all follow along on our low-code, no-code topic page on SAP Community. You can use that QR code to get there. This is where we are answering questions. We're providing all of the latest, greatest resources as they come out. You can find them there first, as well as things like events and challenges. And so from a SAP community perspective, that's really the hub that you should follow along. And with that, thank you very much. And back to you, Svea.
Thank you, Sandy. And of course, also thank you, Sebastian, for your presentations. And it's really great that you also added all the QR codes here so that people can directly join. But also in the chat, I have added all the information, the topic page links, the tag links, of course, the learning journey links, everything can be found in the live chat. So may I kindly ask you to stop sharing your screen now, because we are going into the questions. So there have been a lot of questions during the presentation, and I need to scroll a little bit so that I do not miss anything. So the first question was kind of in the beginning of the call from Mauricio. Does SAP AppGyver will replace Fiori? So the Fiori apps. Is this something you can answer?
So, I mean, let me answer that. I mean, SAP Fiori is our design system. It's also our, with UI5, our UI technology that enables our customers to build UIs, SAP UIs into the Fiori design system. So by that, actually, AppGyver is our citizen developer development environment where you can actually build Fiori design system UIs. So no, it's not replacing one or the other. It's actually even supporting that in the future, or that, no, not in the future, from now on, citizen developers can actually build SAP Fiori UIs with AppGyver.
All right, that sounds really good. The next question is about Business Application Studio. Will the SAP Intelligent RPA Cloud Studio move to Business Application Studio in future?
With the launch of SAP Process Automation, what was known before as the SAP Intelligent RPA Cloud Studio, but also the workflow management capabilities have moved into SAP Process Automation. So our new home for an integrated end-to-end process automation approach is SAP Process Automation with the SAP Process Automation Studio. And there also in our future, this is our strategy in the future, you will find all editors or elements or artifacts that you need to build workflows, decision tables, bots, document templates, stuff like we have seen in the demo.
Okay, thank you. One more question. Can business application studios have such low-code mode without AppGyver subscription? So it's about the subscription.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I was also presenting in the news. I mean, we are making the low-code mode in SAP Business Application Studio the standard. So, and that will also be available without the AppGyver subscription. So it's going to be also a standard development experience in Business Application Studio.
Thanks. Another question from Christian. What are the differences between process automation and workflow? They seem to have similar capabilities.
So SAP Process Automation is the evolution of SAP Workflow and Workflow Management, SAP Intelligent RPA, and also parts of what we have been known in the past, SAP Room. So actually, SAP Process Automation is everything in one box. It's one of the first solutions out there in the market where you can, where a developer can build both workflows, elements of the workflows, as well as RPA-like bots in one development environment, and also having it in one life cycle. So it is, yeah, it's an evolution of what we knew before as workflow or workflow management.
Yeah, thanks for this answer. And again, in the SAP community and on the new topic page where the link has been shared here, you can find also more information about it. Here's a question: Can Business Application Studio low-code deploy on other database instead of only HANA Cloud?
Of course, I mean, we have a native integration of HANA and HANA Cloud, but also, I mean, with our general concept that we have also built on CAP and also our SAP Graph, we will be able to support further database technologies.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. With so many different code studios, is there any plan to integrate them to be, I think you have already answered that one, right? to BUS, or will they exist independently? It's a similar question to the first one.
I mean, maybe on the developer experiences. So our target is to have, because building process automations and building applications, of course, there's overlaps, but it's also a little bit of a different, let's say, target setting. So this is why we are targeting one lifecycle environment and development environment for building process automations, and then we have our two application development environments. One is targeting citizen developers with a true no-code experience, and one is targeting professional application developers with a low-code to pro-code experience, and also to really keep AppGyver super simple for citizen developers to use, and having not any code in it. Our strategic decision was to basically offer those two development environments. But of course, they are all using the same backend service. They're using mobile services. We are exposing our CAP services and data models into both of them. We are using the Fiori design system. It's just a different developer experience for different groups of developers that we are having.
Yeah, so this is really interesting in regards to citizen developers. So I find myself in this area more or less, maybe
to use it. I mean,
really in brackets, but
next community call, Svea, you demo and
you're right. There is another question on the learning course. This is interesting. What's the job scope after completing the course? Sandy, do you have an answer to that one?
Yeah, sure. So upon completion of the course, the learner is, and with the certification, of course, but basically they are able to build, simple no-code apps, very simple kind of like apps that might be used in day-to-day workflows, form-based processes, things like that. And also then to participate in larger kind of multidisciplinary teams who are tackling perhaps a bigger project with a more complex cross LOB workflow or something like that.
All right, so maybe that answer is suitable to you.
Yeah,
So
I mean, what just to clarify, the way we're saying this, if you're completely new to SAP low code, no code, it's a great starting point. Yeah. If you're really a non-techie and you want to get started, you're an aspiring citizen developer, you can start there. But also if you just aren't familiar with SAP low code, no code at all, and you want, some of the context and the foundation, it's also a good starting place.
So that would be the starting point for me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it. So let me review more questions here. From Hugo, hello, is the login with the SF, I guess it's success factors or BTP, going to be available soon? SF, is it success factors in that case?
I'm not sure. Maybe we can put the question to the side. And
maybe Hugo, you can write a more detailed question here in the chat so we can pick it up. Low code, no code becomes more and more interesting in our case due to lack of developer resources. The promises of low code, no code are already very nice. I think that's good to mention because it's a highlight, not really a question. But here's the question. Is the BTP free tier available for individual subscriptions in India region?
So you mean with a dedicated, as it's cloud software, it's available in all regions. If the question is towards having dedicated hosting options in India, SAP has a published data center roadmap. This is also something I would always refer to the different published roadmaps that are there, with also the data center strategy behind it. And this will also give insights on where we are available when. As of now, as we are available in all regions, I think the answer is a clear yes, you can subscribe to BTP.
Yeah, this user is having difficulties, but I guess it's also more about, or it can be also company restriction or something, right? So this is not something we have a hand in. When you work from company, you want to open it from the browser there, for example, because he said he's not allowed to do so. So maybe you try again with logging out of from your company system. So I noticed this as well. All right, so then we have, are there any recommended blogs or suggested paths for migrating from PI, PO to integration suite? Any template presentation? Why should the customer choose to move to integration suite? Is this something you can answer?
I can only refer to the newly published content to help the migration. Also, there's different motivations, there's different reasons on why this should happen. I mean, generally, our cloud-based SAP integration suite is the latest and greatest integration technology of SAP. So I can only invite all our customers to have a look on our SAP integration suite in the cloud. Make yourselves familiar also with the features and functions it offers compared to our, I would say, more seasoned offerings about PI or process orchestration. And again, maybe this is also something that we can provide a link afterwards on those newly launched learning offerings, or new offerings about that help our customers to plan their upgrade and migration journey at the end of the call.
Yeah, so maybe you have seen me writing, audience. So I have added the link to the SAP Integration Suite topic page as well. So there you can also find further links to the learning journeys and so on. So I think that's really, really important to check out community, because as Sandra said before, this is the hub where we have everything. And then from there, you can ask your question, you can read all through the blog post, or you can even provide your own view on anything with a blog post. So I think we come close to an end, but here is one more comment. Thanks, Pierre. He hired me for the new champion for local. But there is one serious one. Hi, I love and support SAP AppGyver, but many crucial features been promised for some time, but not yet been delivered. How many tasks of the current roadmap will be delivered on promised deadline?
I mean, as I said before, I mean, we are not commenting on committed delivery timelines. I mean, we have a published roadmap. This is according to our planning and our best planning that we have right now. And currently our development teams are working super hard to get the latest and greatest features out around SAP AppGyver. And we are delivering cloud software, so there is going to be news every month. And we are also running regular what's new sessions here on SAP Community. So I can only ask everyone to chime in into those regular what's new sessions, also around SAP AppGyver on the SAP Community, to get the latest and greatest updates.
Yeah, definitely. So there will be more calls in the future, and also have a look into the past calls. Also the call has been mentioned, which took place yesterday. Also the link is in the chat here as well. Then we have one thing about the training. Is there a free system to access and perform the training, Sandy?
Yeah, so for the training itself is free. You can access that right on SAP Learning. That's freely available. To use the tools right now for the AppGyver unit, we're having learners use the Community Edition, which they would need to use with their private email address until the new free tier booster is available, which should be within a couple of months. And then, we'll update the learning journey to make that easy. For the SAP Process Automation unit, the free tier is already there, and everyone should be able to use that freely.
Nice. Very good. Thanks for that. And one last question, and then we are going to start because that's a question from Hugo, which we had earlier. So he elaborated that a little bit. So when are we going to be able to use BTP login and SuccessFactors login with in-app Guyver apps? So it seems that he has already logins for those. And is it possible to use same in App Guyver?
I mean, it depends a little bit also on the configuration. If the same IDP is connected to both SuccessFactors as well as App Guyver. If this is the case, then the login is the same. If it's different IDPs, then of course, I mean, you cannot not use it. But I mean, we are supporting custom IDPs at the end on BTP. So that also means in general that should work, but it depends really on each and every customer's configuration, on how they are, what is their IDP strategy.
All right. Okay.
I mean, if you're using, maybe the question comes from Hugo from if you're using App Guyver Community Edition as a free environment. Of course, SAP App Guyver Community Edition is a free sandbox system that is independent from the BTP integrated solutions. So this is also why I mean, it's perfect, and we invite everyone to start using the SAP Community Edition to learn how to use App Guyver and to also build first apps. But when we come to a productive development environment, of course, then all our customers anyway have to move to App Guyver on BTP, and in App Guyver on BTP, then we have the full BTP, also IDP functionalities available.
Okay. All right. So thanks so much, and to the audience, to our listeners here. It was really great to have you and that you asked so many questions. And the team has prepared a little Qualtrics survey. Sorry, I was missing that word. So I will add this link to the survey here as well. So would be great if you could participate in that one. It takes only 3 minutes. So we are at the end of the call. Thanks so much, Sebastian. Thanks so much, Sandy, and the team in the background for everything. It was great having you here. And also to our listeners, thanks so much, and have everyone a great day ahead, and stay tuned in SAP Community. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.